Sup? Welcome everybody from the YouTube space. Once again, my name is Sculpted. Thank you very much for coming by and checking out today's video and checking out my channel just in general. Today's going to be an interesting video. Actually, today's going to be a video on the more information that Neopol and Arc System Works has shared about DNF Duel in a very discreet way. Like, actually in a way that I'm kind of surprised about, because hardly would anyone end up stumbling upon this. And then obviously once someone does, shares it on the internet, like me or anyone else for that matter, that's when people would start figuring out this information. But the way that they did this was very discreet, and it's actually almost secretive to some degree. And what I mean by this is that Sony or Arc System Works or whoever it is that has the authorization to do this stuff ended up updating the store page for DNF Duel, and it's not something that you can look up on the Sony PlayStation website. Actually, how I ended up finding out this extra bit of information that they have secretly shared without informing almost anyone is actually through the Sony PlayStation app. I don't know if this same information can be found on the PlayStation Store if you're on PS4 PS5 console. I found it on the app, and when I tried to look it up on their website, nothing popped up. So I just wanted to go through this information with you guys so that we can kind of all be up to date and in the know as to, you know, what's to come with DNF Duel. So without further ado, let's just go ahead and get into the interesting bits here. So the first thing that I do want to just go ahead and go over with you guys is the fact that Arc System Works actually ended up just making a dedicated page sharing the fact that you are now able to go about pre-ordering DNF Duel for the PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5 consoles. And then of course they say that, you know, on June 28th, you're able to actually go about purchasing the product on Steam. So there's not a whole lot of information here. I mean, they just got some screenshots and they just kind of explain what DNF Duel is and, you know, who Arc System Works and Nexon is. So not a whole lot of information there. So the information that I really want to go over with you guys is the screenshots that I took on my phone while I was on the PlayStation app for DNF Duel. And I actually have those screenshots for you right here. So I ended up taking, I believe, up to 4, but really it's the first few screenshots that really have the details that we all care about. So I just want to go ahead and read this along with you guys. And yeah, we'll just see what we find here. So I already read through all this, but I'm just going to read it again. So bear with me here. I don't like reading, but you can always pause and read ahead of me if you'd like. But I also wanted to give my thoughts. So let's go ahead and get this started. The seeds of volition bring forth a challenger, an action fighting at its extreme, one of the most popular and widely played RPGs in the world. Dungeon and Fighter is now back as a 2.5D action fighting game. Choose from 16 charming characters. Now, that's the kind of the first part that I do want to go ahead and stop at, is that 16 characters. So in the second beta, when we had that available to us, at the time there was only 11 characters. Now, we knew that there was going to be a 12th character because in one of the trailers that DNF Duel themselves uploaded to YouTube, they actually showed a female character who had like a bun and a pin in her hair, and she had like all these explosions behind her. So we already knew that there was going to be a 12th character, but with her not being in the beta and her technically not existing at that point, we just knew that she was coming. We only had 11. And that means that when this game comes out, we are going to have access to 5 more characters that we have not played yet, nor have seen genuine gameplay of. So that is extremely exciting. So I'm really looking forward to see, you know, what characters are going to, you know, come, which I already know what characters are going to come because of the notes here when we get to the next few pages, but just, you know, moving forward with the game from there. But just to continue reading here, each with their own distinct skills and personalities, outsmart, outplay, or downright beat up your opponents and become the master of the ultimate will. Pretty straightforward stuff, but no, really exciting to see that we're getting 5 new characters. We obviously know that this is going to be coming out for both PS4 and PS5, and is cross-generation play enabled, which is really nice, because not everyone has a PS5. So I'm very thrilled to see that, you know, we're not limiting our player base here. And obviously Steam also is going to be available as well. So no Xbox. So for all of you that may want to play on Xbox or even the Switch, I know we're going to get those DNF Duel for the Switch comments at some point. So yeah, I mean, hopefully it will come for the Switch. That'd be cool to see Switch have a fighting game with a nice rollback and netcode game. But here's where we get into even more information. So the modes and features. As a lot of you guys may have experienced when we were playing the beta, we had one game mode. And that was a lobby. You went into a lobby and you just fought people. You sat at these little arcade machines as little chibis and you fought that person. Well, more is coming, thank goodness. Which we already kind of knew this, but we are getting, it seems like quite a variety of modes. Now here's where it gets really cool. So we are definitely going to be getting ranked matches, and we're going to get player matches, and then it seems like they have something called ranking, which I'm assuming is that you go talk to a guy and they just tell you where you place on ranking. So I don't know if I'd really refer to that as a mode, but ranked matches and player matches. Now the thing is that they're not necessarily clarifying here, but I'm assuming what they mean by this is that if you do a ranked match, if you go into a ranked match lobby system where you just pair with someone in your similar rank in that lobby, or what, because all we had was the lobby system. We don't even know if the lobby system will stay into the final game, so they can make these changes. But if we continue reading here, so local mode, which means not going online, you have free battle, you have a story mode, which is also really cool, and we'll definitely read more on that here coming up. I'm super excited about the fact that there's a story mode in this game. But we're also getting an arcade mode, which I'm assuming is going to be like kind of like for bosses, which if any of you guys played Dragon Ball Fighters, they did, something very similar, or kind of like little challenges and things like that you could do. And then of course survival mode, which I would like to believe is just super straightforward. Just win as many matches against as many characters as possible until you die. See how far you get. I guess we'll find out. But of course, we're also getting a practice mode, so a training mode as well as so practice mode, training mode, same thing. But then we're also getting some sort of tutorial, so you can have the NPCs or some kind of system to help teach you the basics of the game. So that's always nice. But training mode, we all been asking for it. Everyone wanted it, so we are getting that, which is super exciting. And then obviously, so collection, so being able to update your player profile. You could have replays and save replays, which will be cool. Galleries, and then a glossary. I'm not 100% sure what exactly that's going to be for. If that's just going to be like literally like a library where you go and just learn slang of fighting games, or if you just learn the overall like lore of the characters, like if you want to go deeper into it, because DNF Duel is based off of Dungeon Fighter Online, which is a game that has been around for almost 2 decades at this point, and there's a lot of story behind all the characters. So hence the reason why I assumed there would be a story mode, and we're getting one. So that's really cool. But anyway, the biggest takeaways I want to take with this is that yes, the training mode is coming out as soon as it releases, which not every fighting game does that typically. Or at least it seems to be more common now. So that's really cool that we're getting that. But the ranked system and player match systems, I would like to believe that the ranked match system would all be done through kind of like a menu, or just be done through like a kind of like a loading bar at the bottom of your screen or something, while the player matches will just simply be the the local, you go into the lobby as little chibis and play people like that. We have no idea how they're going to go about this, so it's only speculation at this point. So hopefully you have the option to, have ranked match and player match as just simple menu select options, and then, the free battle or the whatever it is, like local play mode or whatever. We still have a lobby system in conjunction with that. I think would be, having the best of both worlds would be really cool, because I personally do like the chibi lobby systems. I think it's just really fun and personable. But there's a huge value in just having the menu select options for ranked matches and player matches. So there is that. Of course, the supported languages, but we're gonna get into the meatier stuff here. So this is all good information, and the fact that we know that we're getting 16 characters, but what characters? That's what we're gonna find out. So on to the next page here. It reads, meet your favorite DNF characters up close and personal. DNF Duel flawlessly reinterprets the iconic classes from the classic Dungeon and Fighter RPG. Whether it's the lightning fast and flashy gunshots of the Sly Ranger, or the uninhibited raw power of a frenzied berserker. Each character's iconic traits have been heightened and reworked, which is great. They're basing all their characters off the source material, and they're trying to keep it as true as close to the source material as possible, which is really nice. But yeah, so this is where we get into the stuff I know a lot of you guys would probably be interested in. So as we know, a total of 16 unique characters are available, and they actually list the characters out. So let's go ahead and read those out real quick. So we already know these ones. So we know Berserker, Striker, Grappler, Inquisitor, Dragonite, Ranger, Hitman, Kunoichi, Vanguard, Ghostblade, Crusader, and then we have a hidden character apparently. But this is when we start getting into the characters that we don't have. And those characters are going to be Enchantress. So that's exciting. We also got Swift Master. We got Troubleshooter. And then we got Launcher, which actually, just for your viewer desires, I actually have the pictures of all of those characters. So first of all, Enchantress. Now, I have played a very, very tiny bit of Dungeon and Fighter Online. Not enough to understand all these characters, but I did take the time to actually look through the pictures, and I got an understanding of what all these characters are. And just going back to the page here, with all these characters, one thing that I've picked up is that, so in Dungeon Fighter Online, you pick a base class, and in each base class, they have an advancement. And each base class has 4 advancements, 4 to 5 advancements, I believe. And they have awakenings, 4 awakenings on each advancement. So this game is really, really in depth when it comes to its characters. But the pattern that Arc System Works and Neon Pull has decided to pick up when it comes to the characters they released for this game is that all of the characters, so all 16 of these so far, well, 15 technically, and then the hidden character, every single one of them are simply the first awakening of each advancement class. So, which means, so all of these characters, the first awakening you get is at level 50. So all of these characters are level 50 first awakening advancement characters. So that's kind of the pattern that they're going with. So looking at Enchantress, so this is the obviously the level 50 awakening of a specific class. I don't remember off the top of my head which it was, but that's kind of the pattern that they're going with. So Enchantress, you know, essentially a dark witch. You know, she got all these adorable but also terrifying animals that are stitched up and stuff, and you know, he seems to use dark magic. And she another thing with her I've noticed is that a lot of the times, I think this class in particular doesn't have any sort of like the other classes that she has, like the other advancements, you would have like candy kind of flying all over the place. You know, it's just like, I guess, like a little lolly gimmick, you know, cutesy whatever. I like candy, but I also shoot black magic kind of thing. But this character doesn't seem to have a whole lot of that happening. So Enchantress seems to be a lot more focused on the dark magic, right? So a lot of people were actually really wanting her, or like the witch class, I believe, is the base class. A lot of people were wanting the witch class. So those of you who are fans of that, or those of you who just are fans of dark magic in general, she's gonna be cool. I'm really excited to see how she plays. And then from there, so we have the Swift Master. So that would be the this guy right here. So this is based off of the male version of the Mage class, and the advancement. So the Mage class has multiple different elements that you choose for advancement wise. So I believe there's wind, there's ice, I believe there's even fire. But this one, we're getting the Swift Master, which is wind. So another super airy character. I'm really excited to see what exactly that he can do. I mean, it's all speculation at this point, so I don't want to talk too much into it. Those of you who actually played DNF Online would actually know more about this stuff. So and because all the other characters so far in the game, they stayed really close to the source material for the other characters, I'm sure it's going to be very similar for everyone else. So if you played Dungeon Fighter Online, then I'm sure you'll have a rough idea of the moves that he'll have. So maybe I can make a separate video for that. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comments if you guys would like to see something like that. But yes, so the next person we got is the Troubleshooter. So this is actually going to be Hitman. So Hitman is one of the 4 or 5 advancement routes that you can take in Dungeon Fighter Online. So we're literally getting another Hitman, but instead of a sword and an Uzi or like a UMP or whatever that gun was, you have a, it seems to have, you know, he's actually going to be using grenades, explosives. It's kind of what we're seeing here. He's holding a big ass double barrel shotgun, it seems like, and then a great sword. So this is actually going to be really cool to see, like the same concept of character, but you know, using a different method of fighting with different tools and weapons at their disposal. So this is actually really exciting. Hitman, based off of the survey that people took for the beta, was like one of the least liked characters. So hopefully this one gets picked up a little more. I guess we'll see. So that's really exciting. From there, the next one we have, I believe, is known as the launcher. So yeah, so we got the launcher. So again, this is the Ranger, just as another level 50 advancement route that you could take instead, or advancement path. So instead of two little pistols that he uses, we seem to have a Ranger with a giant ass minigun. So obviously he's going to be a lot more slower, a lot more grounded, but probably a way better zoner than what Ranger is, because it seems like he can probably hold you down with massive amounts of bullets. And God, I can only imagine the chip damage that this guy can do. I wonder how they're gonna keep that balance. I'm really excited to see that. But he also seems to, I can't exactly 100% tell what's on the back here. I mean, I would like to say either a shotgun, which I would be in disbelief on because we're already getting the troubleshooter. But since he goes by the name Launcher, I would assume it's maybe some kind of grenade launcher. So instead of using grenades, he just uses 2 big old guns, one for rapid fire bullets and one for big ass explosives. So again, it's going to be really cool to just see a variation of characters, even though it's like technically the same character. So, and then the last one that we have here actually is, so here's where we get into a little bit more of this mystery and speculation. So a unlockable hidden character. Now, how does one unlock this hidden character? Well, I'm just going based off of my history and my knowledge when it comes to Arc System Works and what they did in the past. So I played Dragon Ball FighterZ, and in Dragon Ball FighterZ, as we read in the first page, is that so there is a story mode. Now, in Dragon Ball FighterZ, there was a character that you can unlock who was named Android 21, and you had to beat the story in order to unlock her. So knowing that there's a story mode, I'm assuming that in order to unlock this unlockable hidden character, you would have to go about completing the entire story mode for all characters, which we'll get more into that here a little bit more. But now the question is who is this unlockable hidden character? Now, here's kind of where my guess comes in, which is super interesting that they're doing it this way. I don't know. I could be totally wrong on this, but here's what I'm guessing it is. It would actually be the female gunner, or aka the mechanic, which we already knew that the mechanic was coming to the game. She was shown in one of the DNF Duel trailers, and with the explosions behind her, like I mentioned earlier in the video. But because of the fact that she's not actually listed here in these playable characters, but we already know of a 16th character which was announced in DNF Duel's video, I'm assuming that mechanic is the unlockable character if you play through the story. So that's kind of interesting that they would show her off so earlier than everyone else that's listed here, or at least all the new characters that we don't know about. But she's the hidden character, so I could be wrong. Maybe we might even have 17 characters. Maybe the hidden character is definitely not her, and maybe she's just the first DLC. I don't know. Maybe she's not even from the base game. So this is all going to be interesting stuff that we'll find out as, time goes on. So that's really exciting stuff either way. So yeah, that's like the biggest chunks of news. Another cool bit of news that, obviously people can appreciate as we keep reading here. A breathtaking world born from the Dungeon and Fighter universe. 16 years of lore is integrated within the storytelling and characters development of DNF Duel. So 16 years of lore. It's a lot. It's a lot. So that's why the story mode is actually going to be really worthwhile, I feel like, in my opinion. So I guess we'll see. But supported by the stunning graphic details that merge seamlessly with the stage designs of Arad, which I apologize if I don't pronounce that right. But we get to enjoy our duels in 8 diverse stages, which in the DNF Duel Beta 2 that we had 6 stages to play in. So the fact that we have now 8 means that we have 2 more maps that we can go ahead and choose from, which with 2 more maps, I would also assume that we would get 2 new soundtracks, which is cool, which is really nice. Just having, 2 more places to fight in is always nice. The artwork is beautiful for these stages, so I welcome it, obviously. So technically 5 more characters, 2 more maps. I'll take it for a 2.5 month wait time from the beta to the main game. That works for me. Now, when it does come to the maps, so we already knew that we had Sky Tower, Oceanic Express, Moonlight Tavern, Hendenmeyer. Now, Ghent City of God, that is new, which sounds really cool. And then we have so Saint Horn we already had, which was like the boat map. We did have Zelva, which was the one with the volcano, but then we have one more, which is known as Ruins, which is a little vague because there's a lot of ruins in DNF Duel or Dungeon Fighter Online, excuse me. But Ghent City of God and Ruins, so those are the 2 new maps. I tried to because this is so vague, I wasn't really able to find a picture for Ruins in particular, but Ghent City of God we do have a picture of. It looks just like this. So a really, really cool seems to be, like Asian or Japanese, Chinese, tower. That's kind of magical with these glowing runes on it. It looks like that there's electrical lines, kind of attached to these, or maybe it's just a random string. I don't know. But look, you got the Saint Horn ships flying above. You got even bigger towers. So really cool place, and kind of almost like this Elden Ring-esque looking tree in the middle, or maybe it might be a waterfall. I don't quite know. Again, I didn't play the game a whole lot, Dungeon Fighter Online specifically, but this, and then of course Ruins, whatever the hell that means, it's probably just gonna be a map with a bunch of rocks behind it. Who knows? So this looks really, really, really cool. So I'm really excited for these maps here. But other than that, that really is about it. I mean, obviously they're just kind of talking about the fighting systems here, how to use your MP gauge, and they don't even talk about conversion, which is super funny, but they do talk about the awakening effects. So there really isn't a whole lot. I mean, again, if you want to pause and read this, by all means feel free. There's also this 3rd page here that we have, so which does read, so enjoy extensive additional content. So this is the next bit of information that's really cool. So we already know about the story mode, but they go a little bit more in depth about it. And the fact that it allows you to play through each character's origin stories. So that means we have 16 individual story modes for each and every character. So even if you don't get the game and you want to use it for the purpose of fighting other people, if you genuinely just enjoy the story of the characters, and if you just want to get more lore, whether you play Dungeon Fighter Online or not, I think this is amazing. We have no idea how long the story is going to be. We have no idea how the story is going to work out. Dragon Ball FighterZ and its story mode was awful. I mean, the interactions that you had with the characters in Dragon Ball FighterZ was really cool and really interesting and kind of fun to watch and listen to. But hopefully they step up their game when it comes to the gameplay loop or just the overall content of the story mode. I'm assuming that you just go through. I would like to hope that you just go through and fight each and every character and how all of them kind of interact with each other and how they all met and know each other. So that would be nice. But still, the fact that we have 16 individual story modes, I think is really, really cool. And that's just going to be, that's just more value for the game instead of just beating people up all the time, online, right? But yeah, so that's really cool. So fully immersive experience in the world of Dungeon and Fighter. Customize your player profile and unlock exclusive wallpapers, and sound gallery, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, sit back and relax with smooth online gameplay. Hop online with ease. Duel against your friends or other challengers worldwide with rollback netcode, which I'm actually kind of shocked. They didn't say anything about rollback netcode. We do know, however, that we have exclusive servers. So I'm not educated on this part specifically. A lot of fighting games tend to do peer-to-peer connections, although it's not very common. Just some have done that, and it's a terrible experience for everyone. I don't know if it's possible to have rollback netcode while also doing a peer-to-peer connection. I mean, feel free to let me know in the comments if that's even a thing. But the simple fact that we're getting dedicated servers is a huge plus. And you know, again, they didn't mention the fact that they're doing rollback netcode for the game, which I really think they should add. But exclusive servers, low lag, and seamless multiplayer experience. So yeah, guys, to say the least, man, I am extremely excited for this game. We're getting 5 whole new characters, 2 new maps. We're getting a dedicated story mode. We got ranked and player matchmaking. You know, we got arcade, endless mode. You know, we have a whole variety of different modes we're gonna have. So I think Arc System Works and Neopol's Nexon is gonna be doing a fantastic job with this game, and I'm really, really excited for it. So I hope you guys are just excited for it as I am, because I want to be covering a lot of this game here on this channel. And especially if you guys would like, once the game does come around, I am going to be streaming it a lot on my Twitch, link in the description. So if you guys want to come and hang out and do some matches, have a good time. When the game drops, feel free. For the time being, I do stream Dragon Ball Fighters. So just trying to play something till we kill the time. But anyway, I hope this was informative. I hope you guys, you know, learned a lot from this. I hope you guys are excited. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the characters and, you know, who you would like to potentially play or try or main when the game does drop. And yeah, that's it for this video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate your guys' time. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Okay, take care. Out of here.